Man, I hate myself. Man, I hate myself. So I watched the CM Punk Seth Rollins Becky Lynch segment, and look, I can't help it. I couldn't help but get a little excited about the possibilities of the certain somebody coming back, but I'm not going to fall for it. I've been repeating this to myself for a while to just not fall for it. And I'm still going down the line of I'll believe it until I see it, but man, a part of me just really wants it to happen. A part of me just really wants it to happen so I can finally have something to actually be happy about and something to actually be invested in. But at the same time, if it doesn't happen and I get myself all wound up, I'm going to be left disappointed because I literally told this in my last video that the last time I got genuinely excited about her possibly coming back was at Evolution in 2018. I might have mentioned that in that video, but, but I said it now so you guys can understand. But the only thing in the Becky Punk segment that I didn't understand was when Becky said that CM Punk's name was chanted during her matches. And look, I've watched a lot of Becky's matches. I've seen a lot of Becky's matches, and I don't ever remember that. I don't ever remember that happening. Try and find one Becky Lynch match where CM Punk's name got chanted during it. So that's your challenge to all my viewers. That is the challenge to all. That's the challenge I'm giving you all to my viewers, to go find a Becky Lynch match and tell me if she ever did get the CM Punk chant thrown at her, because to me, I certainly don't remember one. So I'm leaving it up to you guys. See if you can find it. But yeah, I'm honestly more surprised that Seth and Becky are even okay with working with each other, considering the last time it happened in 2019, they hated it. They really hated that they didn't like working with each other, because they really hated it. And I mean, to be fair, it was Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans they were feuding with back then. It's not exactly the best people to have them come together for. But yeah, so it was a good segment. I actually did enjoy it. And the Paris, France, I actually liked the stage setup. I'm pretty sure they only did it that way because they were in Paris. Like, the stage setup actually looked really damn cool. I will say that, that's the kind of Raw arenas I miss. Those are the kind of arenas I miss. Like, custom made, like, really interesting designs and sets. Those are the kind of arenas I miss. Those are the kind of arenas I miss these days. The kind of arenas that I miss are those kinds of arenas. Very creative ones instead of the same old bland and generic ones that we've seen. I really miss the days of creativity. So I did like the Raw arena, so at least that was creative. So So, at the end of the day, it was a really fun little segment. Again, I couldn't help but to get a little wound up and a little excited over it. Becky was pretty much going over all the qualities of Seth, calling him hot, talented, and all that stuff. I just couldn't help but to laugh. It was so silly to see someone like Becky Lynch saying, "My husband is hot. My husband is talented. My husband is this. My husband is that." It just feels weird seeing Becky do that kind of thing. But Punk proceeded to call Seth a bum, that you married a bum, and all that. And says you just got bad taste because you married a bum, and all that stuff. And And then Becky was all like, I'm the greatest women's wrestler of all time, and it's not just me saying it, it's all the news outlets and all that stuff and all that. And then Punk basically rehashed the same thing that she said, but instead of saying news outlets, she was like, I'm the best in the world, and the reason, and it's not just me saying it, it's billions of people saying it, and all that stuff. And then he goes over the whole thing about fans chanting his name and all that stuff. It's like, people would chant my name if I'm a champion. They chant my name if I'm not a champion. They chant my name if I'm here. They would chant my name if I'm not here. They would chant my name if I'm in catering. It doesn't matter where you go. My name is always chanted, or whatever. Something along those lines. And then the crowd would, on 2 occasions, chant the name AJ Lee. On 2 occasions, they would chant the name AJ Lee. And on both occasions, Becky turned to them and said that dope doesn't work here. And the fans would proceed to boo. So, yeah. Like, the fact that she's responding to them saying that either makes me think that they're definitely setting up that this could possibly happen, or it's just, again, just me being utterly delusional. But man, like, a part of me just really wants to see it happen. A part of me does. Look, I have not been on the best of terms with WWE's booking right now. I haven't been on the best of terms with WWE's booking, and I'm not trying to say, oh, I will forgive everything that Triple H has done if he brought back AJ Lee. I am not in any way, shape, or form trying to tell you all that if Triple H brings AJ Lee back, I will publicly apologize for everything that he has done. No. I am not going to go down that path. I'm not going to be like all those idiots. I'm not going to be all like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing that. No way in hell. But I'm just saying, AJ coming back might be the only thing that could still save me from actually watching the product, because I just genuinely don't watch it much anymore. Because, you know, what's the reason for me to watch it? There's really not a lot of reasons for me to watch it nowadays. So I genuinely feel like if she did come back, she would literally be the only reason I would watch. She literally would be. She would be the only person I would just watch it for. But here's the thing. I still do not think she is coming back. Like, Rhea Ripley could team with Becky. Not Becky, what's his name? Punk. You know what I mean. Like, Rhea could team with Punk. And you know that wouldn't be a bad thing, because it would get Rhea away from Io. It would at least be a different feud. It would at least be something different. It would get her away from Io, the Io Sky Vortex that she's found herself in. And yes, I know we've seen her feud with Becky before, but I just think it would just be different. At least it would get her away from. To me, I just think it would at least get her away from Io. It could be Bayley that could team with Punk, which is another thing that could work. And of course, the other person who I'm probably thinking it might be is Lyra Valkyria. Now, I know there was a stipulation that said that Lyra could never challenge Becky for the title again, which a lot of people will say, well, that will be the reason why Lyra won't be involved in the feud, because of the stipulation. She doesn't have to challenge for the title. Who said she still can't fight Becky but not go for the title? She could still fight Becky, it just won't be for the title. It'll be a mixed tag team match. Unless you're trying to say both belts will be put on the line in the mixed tag, which, you know, that would be interesting if they did that. But I know for a fact that won't happen. So Becky is now credited as an official member of the Vision. And honestly, I am kind of surprised they actually have paired Becky and Seth together. Like I said before, of the whole, they didn't like working with each other, or they hated working together in 2019. I don't think it had to do with each other. I just think it just had to do with the storyline that they were given. But there's just a lot of things that you could probably do here. But at the end of the day, it's what everyone wants, is AJ Lee to come back. And this would be the perfect time to do it. And because of this whole storyline. But I genuinely hate that they would only bring her back because of this feud. Like, they didn't bring her back when Drew McIntyre kept mentioning her. Like, how many times did Drew McIntyre mention her? Maybe like once or twice. Like, he literally, like, remember Drew's feud with Punk was over a bracelet that had her damn name on it. And their dog. The feud that Punk was having with Drew had her name on it, her name with a bracelet on it. And that didn't cause her to come back. You would think, and that didn't cause her to come back. And like I said, the 2 times people hoped that she was in the Royal Rumble, didn't happen then. People thought she'd come back at Evolution 2, which she didn't. Now, that one I didn't believe, because I was more thinking Paige, because she just left AEW. But still. But all I'm saying is that this does feel like it would be the perfect time to do it. And if they didn't deliver, you would think WWE would now have to pull the trigger, if it is indeed going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, it's going to leave the fans bitter. It's going to leave the fans bitter, because they were fully expecting AJ. And if it ends up being Bayley, Rhea, or anybody else, I feel like the fans are going to boo. They're going to boo. They're going to reject. I feel like they're going to boo. They're going to reject it, because it's not who they wanted it to be. Now, Punk teased that he's going to be on SmackDown, and he says he has a surprise. Now, that's obviously getting everybody wound up. That it might actually happen. AJ just coming back on a random SmackDown episode because they're in Chicago? I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about her just randomly turning up on SmackDown, and then Punk just challenges him, and Punk challenges Seth and Becky to a mixed tag. Like, Seth and Becky would have to be there, right? You would think Seth and Becky would have to be at that SmackDown episode if she's going to be there. If she's going to be there, you would think Seth and Becky would be there, so then we can see Becky's reaction when her theme music plays. Like, just having Punk there with Seth and Becky not there, and then she just comes out. Sure, the pop would be nuts, and that's all and that's, in my opinion, that's all Triple H wants. That's all Triple H wants nowadays. All he wants is the pop, the reaction. He doesn't care about the storylines. All he wants is just to hear people react and go crazy. Oh my God, she's here! Finally, after 10 years. After almost 10 years, we finally see her for the first time. In almost 10 years. But the segment really made me hope. Punk told Becky that she's going to regret slapping him, and Becky was like making fun of Punk, saying she has like his grease all over him and stuff, and she even said that when she punched him in the balls, like she's got like all of his like just calls him ugly, calls him disgusting. It just basically says calls Punk disgusting and all that. So they're talking about families, and here's the thing. They talk about families, but Punk and AJ aren't really a family. They're just husband and wife. They don't have a child. Like, and I know they don't have a child because they've been married for 10 years. I think at least 10 years, because I think they got married in 2014. I can't remember for sure. But they've been married for over 10 years. And if they had a child, we would have known about it. We would have known about it. The news would have broke that Punk and AJ have their first child. They don't have a child. My brother said that AJ won't come back because she's a wife. She's a wife. And I'm like, she doesn't have a child. Punk and AJ aren't, like, they may be married, but they don't have kids. They're just a family that just don't have children. Maybe they didn't want children. The only person that lives in their house is their dog. That's their only child. Now, again, people joke about Roxanne being AJ's daughter. That's because it's just a saying that people say online. It's just a stupid saying that people say. Oh, this person's their daughter or whatever. You know, like Carly Bright, that girl from Evolve. Everyone says she's Kelly's daughter, which she's not. Miles Bourne, people say he's Randy Orton's son, which he's not. It's just a saying. Everyone just says that stuff. Like, if Roxanne was really AJ's child, they would be making more of a big deal about it. But no, they're not. They're not. No, she's not, for obvious reasons. The reason why they say Roxanne is AJ's daughter is because Roxanne grew up idolizing her. That's the reason. That's the reason. She idolizes her. That's why they say that. It's not because they're actually, you know, family, which they're not. And that's why they jokingly say, that's why you hear Punk and sometimes AJ on Twitter kind of jokingly say Roxanne and Cora are like their children. Like, and all that stuff. It's just a joke. It's just them joking around. They're not really their children. because Roxanne idolizes AJ and Cora idolizes Punk. So that's more the reason why they like to joke around and say that. It's not because they actually are family. But yeah, like AJ and Punk don't have kids. They do not have any children at all. Like, you think that it would be known to the world if they did. So despite the fact that Becky is saying that Becky's only joined with Seth is because Punk has affected her family, with not just only Punk but herself, but I'm just like, you do realize Punk and AJ aren't really a family because they don't have a child. You're not a family if you're just married. You're just husband and wife. Now, obviously, I'm not married. I'm not married, but you wouldn't be classed as a family unless you have a child. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be classed as a family if you didn't have a child. Like, if you're just husband and wife living on your own, you'd just be husband and wife. I'm very, very sure that's probably how it works. But yeah, like, they try to say that Punk affects them, and I'm just like, well, because it has nothing to do with them. But at the end of the day, Punk, like for the guy that Punk is, the rebel that Punk is, you know, they go with the whole he's a rebel kind of character. Like, the kind of rebel Punk is, you think he would have punched Becky Lynch in the face, but he was trying to be a real man and not hurt her. Despite the fact that she kept slapping him in the face over and over and over again. I mean, friggin' Baron Corbin dropped her with a friggin' end of days. Like, Baron Corbin's got more balls than Punk to do something to Becky Lynch. But hey, that's actually kind of crazy if you think about it. You would think Punk wouldn't be afraid to drop Becky Lynch with a GTS, being the kind of rebel character he is. But I guess he's trying to feel more like a good guy here. Because I guess, you know, all good guys don't hit women or whatever. But Punk said, he told Seth, he told Becky, they're going to regret the mistakes they've made. And then he leaves. And the crowd obviously go crazy when he says that they will regret it. Because everyone knows, again, what they want to believe is it could happen. And again, Punk said that he has a surprise for everybody on SmackDown. And again, I don't know, man. It might make me want to watch the show. Well, anyway, guys, that's about it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and take care.